Hello, and welcome to the Orange County Land Use Plan 2050 process. Thank you for being involved in this effort. This video will guide you through an overview of the planning process, share about the hypothetical land use alternatives and draft vision, themes, and goals for your feedback, and provide instructions for you to share your input online. Here is a QR code and the URL for the project website. This site is your go-to source for information throughout the planning process. Sign up on the website to be alerted of important opportunities to share your opinions about the future of Orange County. The Orange County Land Use Plan kicked off in the summer of 2023, where the project team met with the staff working group, conducted stakeholder interviews, and completed other tasks to launch the project. Phases 2 and 3 occurred over the fall of 2023 through winter 2024, when the team evaluated existing conditions and planning influences. During this time, the first community engagement window was launched. For a report of that community engagement, head to the Resources tab of the website. Right now, we are in Phase 4. We are looking for feedback from the public on the draft vision, themes, and goals, and testing the land use alternatives. First, a brief refresher on what is a comprehensive land use plan. The land use plan will be a 20-year vision for Orange County's future. It will be built from inclusive public engagement and will address the needs and wants of the community. The plan will guide growth and coordinate investment, such as infrastructure. The plan is a key piece connecting Orange County's operations and investments through physical planning. As shown in the image on the right, planning is a continuous cycle. It starts by setting policy priorities through the land use plan and from other plans. Next, work priorities are set, such as what is laid out in the county strategic plan. Next, those priorities are folded into funding processes, such as the county's budget and capital investment planning. Following that, it's time to actually implement those priorities in things like countywide initiatives, projects, and regulatory updates. Finally, progress should be assessed to measure and evaluate what has been accomplished. Then, the process starts all over again as new priorities are set to meet the evolving needs and wants of the community. This plan, called the Orange County 2030 Comprehensive Plan, was adopted in 2008. You can view this document on the Orange County Planning website. These policies will be considered and evaluated as part of the Land Use Plan update. Land Use Plan 2050 will focus on the planning area shown on the map here. You can see the dark gray areas which are under the planning and zoning jurisdiction of the municipalities. The light gray areas show the extraterritorial jurisdictions, or ETJ. These are areas where a municipality has applied its zoning ordinance outside of city limits. The gray checkered area shows the joint planning area and transition area, which were created as part of the joint planning agreement and the joint land use plan, both adopted in the 1980s and recently amended in 2015 as a collaboration between Orange County and the towns of Chapel Hill and Carrboro. The objective of the joint planning agreement and the land use plan was to designate the joint planning areas and to coordinate on the ability of the towns of Chapel Hill and Carrboro to annex within the transition areas in the rural buffer, which is shown on the map in the purple shading. As we mentioned, the objectives of Community Engagement Window Number 2 are to share our land use alternatives for Orange County and hear the community's preferred aspects of each. In addition, we'd like to receive feedback on the draft vision, themes, and goals. Let's learn more about the hypothetical land use alternatives. The reason that we do this step is to test land use policy decisions in a hypothetical setting. How would different policy decisions impact our community and land use over time? To do this, we identify different areas where the community might want to see change, and then we explore what those look like through a hypothetical model using GIS. Then we evaluate what those changes are. We look at the yield using model outcomes, and now we are sharing those with the community. Few important notes. Land use alternatives are not formal recommendations for new policies. They are a mechanism for having a conversation about what the ultimate preferred future land use map could look like. They are also not a recommended new future land use map. The inputs from the community will inform the development of the policy direction that the plan could take, but the alternatives themselves are not the new future land use map. After Community Engagement Window Number 1, we developed a key question that was used to guide the land use alternatives hypothetical modeling. Which aspects of the land use alternatives best achieve the balance of sustainable development in Orange County? We are not asking you to pick one, but rather to understand the community's feedback on the preferred aspects of each alternative. The first alternative represents a baseline, or if Orange County continues with current policies. In the second alternative, we explore enhancing agricultural and environmental protections. In alternative number 3, we looked at including low-impact rural conservation neighborhoods and new employment in strategic locations. In alternative number 4, we look at mixed-use centers and new employment in strategic locations as well. An important note about environmentally sensitive areas. For all new alternatives, when identifying areas for potential new development, we avoided density in areas that include critical water supply watersheds and voluntary and enhanced agricultural districts. To the extent practical, protected water supply watersheds, conservation corridors, and prime agricultural lands were also avoided. Here's a little more detail about each alternative. In land use alternative number 1, current densities are maintained for all land use categories in the unincorporated areas. The other 3 alternatives build off of alternative number 1 as baseline. In alternative number 2, the conservation-focused alternative, agricultural and environmental protections are enhanced by reducing the amount of residential density for the majority of lands in unincorporated areas. Alternative number 3 introduces rural conservation neighborhoods and economic development areas in strategic locations, which are circled in red on this map. Alternatives number 3 and number 4 support expansion of the Buckhorn Economic Development District south of West 10 Road near Mebane. Here is an example of rural conservation neighborhoods on the right, compared to conventional neighborhoods on the left. In rural conservation neighborhoods, sometimes called conservation subdivisions, 60% of land is permanently protected as open space, and the housing development on the site is more dense and more compact. Alternative number 4 is focused on employment and includes mixed-use centers identified in 2 locations. These would require public services because of the scale of development you would anticipate to see. Both development, like a mixed-use center, would be Southern Village in Chapel Hill. If you'd like more detailed information about the methodology, analysis, and outcomes, you can view the technical report online. As previously mentioned, we'd also like your feedback on the vision, themes, and goals. These were drafted from community feedback received during Community Engagement Window number 1. They provide high-level direction and priorities for the plan. We are seeking community feedback on the current drafts of the vision, themes, and goals. Now, we'd like to hear from you. To share your thoughts, use the QR code on the screen or navigate to the URL shown below. There are 2 ways to share your input. If you only have a few minutes, you can take the short survey online. If you have more time and would like to provide more detailed feedback, please take the longer survey. I'd love for you to stay involved in this process. If you'd like to receive updates on the land use plan, please sign up on the website using the QR code on the screen or the URL provided. Hearing from our community is vital for this process, and we need your help in spreading the word. Please tell 5 people you know about this project and ask them to complete the online survey. This could be friends, neighbors, family members, or coworkers. The online surveys will be available until November 3rd, 2024. Thank you for caring about the future of Orange County. We look forward to hearing your input.